Hi all, Old Man on the Ridge here with another video that I hope you will enjoy watching. This year at Overland of America 2025, I managed to shoot some videos and take a lot of photographs. This is a recap of the 3 days of the event using photographs and some video clips of the event. I just rolled into the Overland of America Expo in Jay, Oklahoma. After going through the check-in process, which was extremely easy, I headed towards the premium camping area. I found my camping spot for the weekend. I got busy setting up camp. It didn't take me long to find a nice spot next to some friends that I knew from the Gumby gathering last October. This is my first Overland event. I'm really not sure what to expect, even though I watched videos on YouTube from different content creators of last year's event. Unlike a lot of folks here, I don't have a dedicated built-out Overland rig. What I do have is a 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon and a vintage 1970s Coleman tent that I rescued from the dumpster when my dad was cleaning out his garage some 10 years ago. I've used this blue and white tent on several campouts and deer seasons. And even though the waterproofing has long been gone, it's still a nice fair weather tent. I do keep a plastic tarp handy complete with ropes and tent stakes, just in case of rain. I set up next to my friends Paula and Casey from the Black Truck Adventures channel out of Texas. I met them last October at the Semper Gumby gathering in the Arkansas Ozarks. Next to Paula and Casey is Charles Haney from the Uphill Outdoors channel. I met Charles at the Gumby gathering also. It was good to see them all again after nearly a year, but it didn't seem that long when you're following their adventures on YouTube. Later that afternoon, I headed over to the Creator's Corner and met up with another good friend, Ben from the Semper Gumby channel out of Tennessee, and his German Shepherd, Hoku. I had been following Ben on his channel for almost a year when he announced that he was putting together an event of his own called the Gumby Gathering. I was fortunate enough to have been picked to attend the first ever Gumby Gathering in the Ozarks. Another guy I met at the Gumby Gathering last year is Jacob. His channel is the Family Man Camping Adventures channel out of the great state of Texas. I met him along with his son Clayton. I caught up with Paula and Casey over at Ben's and Jacob's camp. You can see Ben and Hoku there in the background. On the way back to my camp, I walked past the vendor area. While it's not really opened yet, because technically it's still setup day. I did not walk down through the vendor area. There will be plenty of time for that over the next couple days. I made it back to camp to fix something for dinner before the pool party. I pulled out my trucker's lunchbox and a Hormel microwave entree, hooked up the 12-volt lithium battery for power, put a little water in the entree in the lunchbox and heated it up. Along with some fruit cups, applesauce, and other snacks, it made for a nice dinner. I believe I had the chicken and rice that night. Here I have my basic kitchen set up with all the stuff I need in a black and yellow plastic tub. My rechargeable water pump and folding table makes for a nice place to prepare meals. And that's pretty much the end of day one. Day 2 started out early, just before sunrise, and what a sunrise it was. I managed to set up a time-lapse video to capture the sunrise, which you can see in another video in this series. As I was cooking eggs and bacon along with coffee and pan-fried toast for breakfast, I managed to look over now and then and snap a few photographs of the clouds and the sunrise. Now I do a lot of French and Indian and Revolutionary War reenacting events. Those folks are getting up, making fires, and cooking as soon as it's light enough to see. These overlanding folks tend to sleep in a little more. Oh, by the way, you can see some of those videos that I made of those events on my channel. I'm always looking to capture that one spectacular photograph, and this is pretty close to it. I try not to make too much noise while I'm cooking breakfast. This photograph, if you look closely at the top center, you will see what's left of the half moon. I haven't quite got the hang of trying to get everything that happens at these events, but I try. I'm mainly interested in having fun and relaxing, and if I happen to video or photograph something of interest, I'm more than happy to share and tell you about it. This was about all the photos I took on day 2. Friday night was spent poolside, starting with the belly flop competition. Storybook won the belly flop competition and took home the $300 cash prize. She did an outstanding belly flop and was the crowd favorite to win. After a brief break, so folks could get a chance to buy raffle tickets, they started the drawing. This was a giant raffle with thousands of dollars worth of prizes provided by the vendors to be given away to some lucky winners. Unfortunately, I was not one of those lucky folks. Let me tell you folks, these were not just a bunch of cheap prizes. These were some of the nicest and most expensive prizes that I have ever seen, and lots of them.
Where are you at?
Day 3, Saturday, the day that most of the events are happening. And again, it starts out before sunrise, with the half moon shining very brightly, directly overhead as the last stars fade away into the approaching blue sky. Even though it was out of focus, you can see Venus, the morning star in the east, as the sunrise approaches. Starting with the trail rides, folks are lining up in groups getting ready to hit the dirt. There are 2 groups going out. The first and the largest group are going out on the green trails. The second, smaller group is heading out on the more technically challenging and more difficult black trails. I'll say again, I just love the wrap on that brat. Along with the pictures of the vehicles lining up, I included a little bit of the video at the start. I have a full video of all the rigs going by, so be sure to check that video out.
being on YouTube.
About 3 p.m. on the lower part of this massive property, they set up a downhill course where they had the famous downhill Barbie Jeep races. Be sure to check out the full video of the race as part of this series. After the Barbie Jeep races, I headed back up to the vendor area, this time from the back by the pool. There it is, the top center of the photograph. I took a moment to look over the side-by-side track. This place has over 1,600 acres of ground and miles of trails on the property. It looks like they have tracks set up for riders of all ages. I'm not sure, but there seems to be what looks like a fire tower in the hill off in the distance. This year's main sponsor for the event is Silencer Co., manufacturer of suppressors to help protect the hearing of shooting enthusiasts. They set up a range where you could go and try out their suppressors on a variety of different firearms. They not only provided the firearms to shoot, but the ammunition as well, all for free. Silencer Co. shuttled you to and from their booth to the range in an air-conditioned Sprinter van, which on this warm day was a very welcome relief from the heat. On Saturday evening, we were treated to a film festival by some of the top storytellers in the overlanding space. There were 7 if you count the extra video that Sean from the Story Till Now channel made of the lazy river. At the end of the film festival, all the storytellers got together for a group photo shoot. These are the photographs that I took. Check out their channels and you might just get a chance to see these fine videos they created just for this event. This year's featured storytellers are The Story Till Now, Ozark Overland Adventures, Baker Overland, Independence Overland, Cottywomble Overland, and Trail Travel. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching.